Greetings, third grade cursive writers. We are ready for another cursive lesson today. We are going to work today on W and Y. So W, and on the back of the W is the Y side. So we're going to start today with lowercase w. So pencils are down for a moment. I'm going to zoom in so you can see. You're going to recognize this formation because it's going to look a lot like we're making I's or U, right? So W has a similarity to writing double U's. Watch me. So pencils are down. I'm going to trace and try. So I start at the baseline, up to the middle line, back to the baseline, up to the middle line, back to the baseline, up to the middle line, kick out tail. All right, watch me try one. Starting at the baseline, up to the middle line, back to the baseline, up to the middle line, back to the baseline, up to the middle line, kick out tail. Right. Watch me do one more pair of trace and try, and then you'll pick up your pencil. Oh, not yet. Watching, starting at the baseline, up to the middle line, baseline, middle line, baseline, middle line, kick out tail. Watching me try one more, baseline, up to the middle line, baseline, middle line, baseline, middle line, kick out tail. All right, scholars, let's go ahead and pick up those pencils. Make sure it's got a nice sharp tip to it. If not, take a moment, sharpen your pencil. All right, we're going to trace and then try. Everyone ready? We're tracing this one together. Here we go. Starting at the baseline, up to the middle line, baseline, middle line, baseline, middle line, kick up tail. Moving to our first try. Here we go. We're at the baseline. Up to the middle line, baseline, middle line, baseline, middle line, kick up tail. All right. Let's trace another one together. Starting at the baseline. Up to the middle line, baseline, middle line, baseline, middle line, kick up tail. All right, here we go. We're trying another one together. We're starting at the baseline, up to the middle line, baseline, middle line, baseline, middle line, kick up tail. All right, one more pair, right? We're going to trace and try one more pair right here. Tracing, starting at the middle line, baseline. Starting at the baseline, middle line, baseline, middle line, baseline, middle line, kick out tail. All right. Moving to our last trace together. Last try together. Starting at the baseline, middle line, baseline, middle line, baseline, middle line, kick out tail. Now, scholars, you're going to try at least 6 of your own right here. And then we'll check in on those words. All right, how did you do on your lowercase w's? Did you try at least 6 of those? Before we go to the Y, we are going to take a look at the words that we want to practice down here. So, taking a look, we have the word water, the word grow, and the word sow. So, looking first at the word water, watch me, I'm going to write one. So scholars, remember the idea for cursive is that you're writing this whole word without picking up your pencil until the very end. After you finish the R, you'll pick up your pencil and then cross the T. Watch me. Pencils down. So I'm going to make my W. Baseline, middle line, baseline, middle line, baseline, middle line. My kick out tail becomes the over of the A. So I don't go back to the baseline. Take a look at what I've done, scholars. Right? I just did that part of the A. So instead of the up and over, I just did the over. And then I'm going to swing back around to close that A. The kick out tail becomes the T. The kick out tail of the T becomes the E. That kick out tail of the E becomes the R. Remember, dip, curve in, kick out tail. Then I pick up my pencil for the very first time and cross the T. Right, making the word water. Now remember, you want to write water at least 2 times right there. And then for the word grow, you can come back and finish water in a minute. Watch me do grow. So grow, I'm starting at the baseline, my up and over of my G, swinging back around, I close the G, drop below to make my loop, I cross at the baseline, go right into my R, dip, little curve to the baseline, up and over of the O, swing back around, I close the O. Remember, O has a tail in the middle. That's going to go right into my W. So instead of dropping to the baseline, I'm just going to go right to the middle line. Baseline, middle line, baseline, middle line, kick out tail. Right? You'll want to write grow 2 times. And then, of course, sew 2 times. Right? Pause right now and do that if you'd like. So, how did you do? Are you growing as a cursive writer? All right, now that you've written water, grow, and sew, we are ready to move on to the lowercase y. So you're turning your page. Remember, the lowercase y is on the back. Here it is. So pencils are down for a moment. Let me show you a trace and try. So, remember, pencils are down. I'm going to start at the baseline, scholars. I'm slanting up, over, drop down, up to the middle line, and then it looks like I'm making a G. I drop below the baseline, loop, and cross back over the loop at the baseline. Right? Make sure you're getting that cross, right? It's crossing over at the baseline. Watching me, I'm going to try one. Starting at the baseline, slant up, over, drop, curve around, middle line, drop below the baseline, make my loop, cross at the baseline for the kick out tail. So scholars, think of it, right, like you're going up a hill, you go over, and then there's a cliff. You just drop right down, and then it curves to swing back up. Or think of it as a really exciting, scary skateboard trick, right? You go up that ramp, drop, but then you get enough momentum of the drop that it swings you back up. All right, watch me do another trace and try. I'm going to zoom in quite a bit closer on this next one. Pencils are down. Watch me. Starting at the baseline. Slant up and over, drop, swinging around, up to the middle dotted line, drop below the baseline. I'm making my loop. Watch my loop. It's going to cross at the baseline for the kick out tail. All right, watch me try one up close like this, and then we'll pick up pencils in a moment. Starting at the baseline, slanting up, over, drop, curving around, back up to the middle line, drop below the baseline, I'm curving around. I cross at the baseline to make my kick out tail. Excellent work, Mr. Long. I know you're all thinking it. Let's have you join me now. Pencils up. Here we go. We're going to trace and try. Starting at the baseline, slant up, over, drop, curving around, back up to the middle line, drop below the baseline, curving around, right to make your loop, cross the baseline, kick out tail. All right, we're going to try one. Here we go, everyone. Fortitude. Here we go. Starting at the baseline, slant up and over, drop down, curve around, back up to the middle line, drop below the baseline, making my loop, cross up the baseline for the kick out tail. Excellent. You've got this, scholars. Let's trace another one, starting at the baseline. Up and over, drop, curving around, up to the middle line, drop below the baseline, loop, kick out tail. Check to see, is your loop crossing right here at that baseline, right? See it right here? That's where you should be crossing your loop. All right, let's try another. Big breath in and out. Here we go. Starting at the baseline. Slant to the midline, up and over, drop, curving around, up to the middle line, drop below the baseline, making my loop, kick out tail. All right, scholars, why don't we try one more trace and try? Here we go. Tracing, starting at the baseline, slanting to the middle line, up and over, drop, curve around, up to the middle line, drop below the baseline, curving around to make your loop, kick out tail. All right, here comes our best one yet. We've got this. Starting at the baseline, slanting up and over, drop down, curve around, back up to the middle line, drop below the baseline, make your loop, kick out tail. Good work. Now, scholars, remember, if you have done all of that with me, you are now ready for your line here. You trace one Y and then write at least 6 more. Why not do that right now? Press pause. All right, you have practiced your Y's. We have 3 words we can work on right down here before we move to uppercase letters. Now, scholars, you're normally supposed to write 2 of each word, but yesterday is kind of a big word. I think it's going to take up almost that whole line. So you could do another yesterday down here somewhere, but if you just do one yesterday, that'll be okay for today. Watching me, I'm going to write yesterday. Watch, scholars, how we're going to write the whole word, then pick up the pencil and cross that T. So yesterday, I'm starting at the baseline. I'm slanting up and over, drop down, curve around, back up to the middle line, drop below. I'm making my loop. My loop kick out becomes the E. The kick out of the E becomes the S. The kick out of the S becomes the T. The kick out of the T becomes the E. The kick out of that E becomes the R. Oh, remember, dip, curve in a bit. Kick out tail becomes the D, up and over. swing back around, top line, back to baseline, kick up tail becomes the up and over of the A. The kick out tail of the A becomes the up and over of the last Y. Drop down, curve around, back up to the middle line, make my loop, cross at the baseline, kick out tail. Now I pick up my pencil and I cross the T. Yesterday. Then scholars, to do koi, I want to show you koi before you finish the rest on your own. So koi, I'm going to make the C, and then that becomes the lead-in for the O, the up and over of the O. Then when I get to the O, I have a kick-out tail. I'm not going to start this Y down at the baseline like I did here and on all of these. I'm going to go right from the kick-out of the O into the drop. And then I'm just going to finish my Y. It's kind of a koi thing for that Y to do, isn't it? So yesterday, koi. Remember, you want to write koi and dry at least 2 times. And then if you want to challenge yourself to fit in another yesterday somewhere, you go right ahead. But if you can't find a spot, it is okay for today to just write yesterday once. All right. So scholars, this is a good time to take care of yesterday, koi, and dry. Then we'll move on to the uppercase letters.